I'm Debbie Shriver. Welcome. I met you all in the hallway, or I've seen you neck up on a Zoom, or maybe we met back in Manchester. And we have a lot of new people coming here as well. And I'm so glad you made it, given the flights, the issues with weather. And I think another storm is headed our way, and it may get the smoke out of here. So we might want to welcome it. I'm really happy you're here. Louisville is known for a lot of things. Colonel Sanders Fried Chicken started here. And if you look down the street, you can see the Yum Arena, which is sponsored by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Someone asked me if Kentucky Fried Chicken is available at our hotel. It's still at their franchises, so you won't get it in a little place around here. You'll have to go out and find a fast food place. But Louisville is also the home of horse racing. Kentucky Derby, Churchill's Downs is here. And if you drive a little bit out of Louisville, if you're driving between here and Lexington on I-64, the horse farms are absolutely amazing. Just seeing the grounds, they're so pretty. And I can tell you, they live in mansions. Those horses live in mansions. They're just beautiful. And this is also the home of Shaker Village. And some of you all may have heard about the Shakers. I'll tell you kind of a funny story about them. Shaker Village started a long time ago, and it's preserved, and you can have tours. And back when I was a Girl Scout leader, I brought a bunch of brownies who were about 8 years old to visit the horses, the Kentucky Horse Park, as well as Shaker Village. And so we learned all about why they were the Shakers, the chairs that they made, where they lived. And we also learned that they adopt and recruit people in. They do not believe in men and women being together. They were very separate. They don't believe in that behavior. And our little 8-year-old brownies said, why didn't they have children? Like, why didn't they? Like, they didn't understand the mechanics. And I thought, oh no, I haven't talked to their parents. I have to be the one to teach them this. So we did. We sat under a tree and we talked about the birds and the bees and all that stuff. And it cleared it up for them. And then I called every single mom to say, be prepared. I've already taught them the news. It was very funny. So I think of Shaker Village, and that's what comes to my mind. But if you have travel time and you're looking for a place to visit, it's very interesting. And they have a wonderful place to eat. They have an old inn that has really good food. And I don't get any kind of cut for saying that. I want to thank all of you, particularly the speakers right now. Thank you for coming and speaking, because you're the ones who are going to give us the content and the body of this conference. I want to challenge every one of you as a participant to 3 things. First of all, I'd like to challenge you to find a new professional colleague. Find someone new and meet each other. You may become good friends, but at least you can be colleagues and communicate after the conference. The second thing I want to challenge you to do is find something that confirms an opinion, a thought, or a skill that is yours. Find a common thread in these programs these next few days, or even when we talk out in the hallway, where much of the conference it happens, as you know. And third, I'd like for you to really find something new, a new opportunity, something you haven't thought of before. And I used to work in training and development, and it's a rule of thumb that once you learn something new, if you don't revisit it within 3 days, it's gone. So when you go home, as you go home, wherever that is, think about that new thing and think about how you might apply that in your lives, or what you might want to share with others when you get home at your work. This conference can be a difficult one. And this is what I really want to underscore, and I will to all of you all along. It's hard content. And whatever experiences you bring here, you bring a profile that can sometimes be overwhelmed. And I want you to take care of yourselves in that way. I won't know when you're overwhelmed, but you will. And step out of the rooms when you need to take a break. step out. We have an assistance team that can also be good support for you. But go for a walk if it's not raining, cats and dogs. Go for a walk. There's a park, there's a river. This is a beautiful area to explore. Take care of yourselves. You don't need to sit in every program every minute of every day. So please do that. And also give us feedback. This has been a new experience. And I want to say hello to the streamers out there in particular. Streaming our conference is new. Having a hybrid conference has a lot of components. And so thank you for your flexibility. We've had to change program formats. We've had to do a lot ahead of time. And I know it's taken a lot of speakers' times and readjusting our expectations. So bear with us. And as we stream, that means we need to be very much on time. And Mike Kropfeld will keep us that way. And he will be giving us some changes in the program that we already have coming up because of the weather, especially. But I think we may have last minute kinds of notes along the way, and we'll let you know what those are as we go through the program together. But I'm glad you're here. Welcome. And when people who slept in come, welcome them. So now I'm really pleased to introduce the president of InfoSec Board, our partner association with this conference, Maria-Andre Pellon.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here, and I was reflecting yesterday. My first conference was 23 years ago in Seattle, so I'm really happy to see new people, that the topic is still alive. So thank you very much to be here. As Debbie said, I'm the president of InfoCult, Center for Assistance and Cultive Phenomena in Montreal. We are really happy to organize this conference with ISCA, and we have been doing it for the last 20 years. Why do we do it? Because I think we share a lot of things with ISCA and InfoCult. We share similar view about providing help, about assisting former members, and also about assisting family who have people within cults. We also promote information and work on misinformation and research on cults. So we are happy to be here. We are happy to talk with you, to share. If you need help, come and talk to us with Mike, who has been at each conference. So thank you very much. And I hope you will be enjoying the conference. Thank you. And it's with great pleasure that I introduce you, Jackie.
Hi, good morning. I've met some of you already, and what a pleasure, because for some time I've heard about a lot of you, and some of you have longstanding relationships with ICSA. I am somewhat new to ICSA in this role. I was appointed as the executive director in October, although I've been involved with ICSA as a speaker and in other ways for a few years now. I just welcome you, and those of you at home, thank you so much for coming here. This conference represents a number of firsts. But first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about me. I am a born, raised in ex-cult member, or as we say sometimes, second generation adult SGA. I was stuck in Jehovah's Witnesses for 42 years before I was able to finally exit. And that was at the age of 52. So it was a hard thing. And I say that to say that I understand the process and how painful it is on so many levels of exiting a group or exiting a toxic relationship or even a destructive family system. And the recovery process and how difficult that can be and how painful it can be, and sometimes how long and confusing it can be. So I just want you to know that please, throughout this conference, take your time, don't overdo it. There's plenty of time to get through recovery. There's plenty of time to learn. This opportunity this week is not going to be your first and only opportunity to experience cult education or cult recovery. There will be plenty of opportunities as you move forward. The biggest thing is about kind of keeping safe. And I say that as a licensed clinical social worker, and I do have a private practice. So joy, not only of going through my own recovery, but also assisting others. So there's a huge mental health component here that we want to be aware of, and just remain safe and try to make the best of your ability the conference safe for others as well. Like I said before, this conference represents a number of firsts. It's my first conference as executive director. It's also our first presence in Louisville, Kentucky, which I've been thoroughly enjoying, and I hope you all have been as well. It's also our first in-person conference since the endings of COVID. And for first-time attendees here, I just want to personally say that we respect, and I particularly respect and honor your bravery in coming here. So if it's your first time coming to a conference dealing with cult recovery and cult education, if it's your first experience with ICSA and or InfoSect or InfoCult, we honor and respect your bravery. We know how difficult it is, and we're here to support you, not just provide education. Perhaps it's the media, or who knows, but we've noticed kind of a proliferation in people coming out of cults. I know I have with my private practice. I get referrals on a weekly basis, and it seems like people are becoming more aware of cultic dynamics, and people are exiting more. And so with that, I want to just say that part of my personal goals moving forward with ICSA are to increase our recovery and support programs and education, to increase trauma education and support, because we know that cult recovery has so much trauma lingering for us. And so part of my goal is to increase trauma-informed care, education, and support for ex-cult members, and also to increase mental health training and support for mental health professionals who may be working in this field. So in those three areas of recovery, trauma-informed care, and mental health professional education support, I'd like to be able to start increasing that moving forward. We did have a fabulous day of pre-conference workshops yesterday. I hope that some of you were able to enjoy those and participate. And I thank you to the speakers who came a day early to provide those pre-conference workshops. They were very beneficial. Lastly, before I turn over to Mike Kropfeld from InfoSect, I'd like to be able to acknowledge at the beginning of the conference, not just the end, the AV company Marquis, who has made this hybrid online streaming experience possible for us. Thank you, Brian, and your staff. We really never could have pulled this off. I'd like to be able to thank our staff, Ms. Nava Chestnut. She's our marketing technology specialist, and our volunteer, Nathan Black. I also want to thank Hotel Distill and their hotel staff, the board of ICSA, and just all of you. So thank you so much. And I will turn this over to Mike Kropfeld now. If you have anything needs over, the course of the next few days, please come to the registration desk. We're happy to assist you.
Unfortunately, because of the weather, I have a long list of announcements and housekeeping to make. You might want to take note of some of the items that I was covering, and in a pinch, however, you can come to see me or see somebody at the desk for further information. As been mentioned a couple of times, doing a hybrid conference has been very taxing on a number of different levels, as well as figuring out the scheduling and the different changes that have occurred just before the conference started and actually up until this morning. So we're encouraging presenters and moderators to show up in their rooms at least 10 minutes before starting time. This is the way to give the speakers and moderators a chance to really just kind of figure out how much time they want for each session, because we will be keeping on time. Each session, if it's 30 minutes, will be exactly 30 minutes. So if you get there early enough, everything can be arranged so there's no glitches that occur. And as I said, any problems, come to the front desk. We'll be there to help you out. Other than us, there is one other conference happening along this strip, and that's only today, and that'll be in Ballroom C. The rest of the time, the conference is only ICSA. For those that are like me and need a coffee fix, there will be coffee available throughout the day. Carol, For those who are interested in attending who knew Carol Giambavo, there is a tribute for her today at 6:15. Even if you didn't know her and you want to attend, please do. She was a very important individual in the organization's history and also someone who was very supportive of former members and spoke out constantly for the needs of former members and to help them. So there's a tribute to her this evening at 6:15 in the reserve room. Let me just mention that I had it later. Reserve room is the name of the room. It's not reserved. You can all go to it if there's a session listed there. That's the question actually we got asked the most already. We've only been here one day. For those streaming in, Phoenix Project Live is only an in-person program and is not being streamed. Sessions that are recorded will be online and available for 90 days after the conference via Whova. The Art and Books Gallery will be in the Rick House on Saturday from 9 to 6 for viewing only and is also not being streamed. And I mentioned viewing only because there's no samples, so please don't take anything that's being displayed. If you have any problems related to the conference, please contact ICSA staff and volunteers that can help you out. Hotel staff are not necessarily people you're going to approach to help you out with conference-related items. As was mentioned, there are people here with the assistance team mentioned on their badge for those during the conference who have a need to talk to someone. Another note, please no taping or recording of sessions, and please remember to turn off your ringers on your phone before sessions start. Another note for those, Rick House is not being streamed all day Thursday as we did not receive permissions from speakers. For those online, the Rick House is track 3. If you haven't already connected to Wi-Fi, obviously for those that are here in the hotel, you can either use the Hotel Distill guest or conference hotel Wi-Fi. No password is needed. If you have tickets for the Riverboat Cruise or you don't have tickets for the Riverboat Cruise and you're interested in attending, let me give you a number for those that might want to attend the cruise, which is 502-574-2992. As I said, you can come and see me or someone else after. The cruise boards at 6 o'clock. For those that have tickets, it was either sent to you in a confirmation email and you can bring it on paper or the QR code that's on your app. The easiest way to get there and boarding is between 6 and 6:45. The cruise leaves at 7 and the cruise will go on no matter what the weather. They may not go out in the river, but the cruise and the social event will occur no matter what the weather is. A note as well, this is not just ICSA, people that will be attending. This is a cruise that's open to everyone, though a large number of people who are participating in the conference have already bought tickets, and there should be a significant number of us there as well during the cruise. Number is 502-574-2992. The office only opens at 10 o'clock. And there's, as far as I know, having checked yesterday, there's only a few tickets left as of yesterday. Just for information, you can ask again. The easiest way to get there is when you leave the hotel, turn right. The first street that you come to is 2nd Street. Turn right, go all the way down to the river, and you'll see the boats on the left. And it takes, depending who you are, if people know me, I'll try to slow it down. So it'll take about 10 minutes for most people to get there. So give yourself a bit of time. For those that walk like I do, you get there pretty quick. For those that are interested in eating, as was mentioned, for some people, the hotel is a more expensive restaurant, though there's a sheet of paper on the table outside with a list of other restaurants in the area. If you're into drinking, there's never a problem finding anything to drink in this area, that's for sure. For those that are planning on checking out on Saturday and have to check out early, the hotel has agreed to let you store your luggage in Ballroom C. All you have to do is approach somebody, a bell staff or somebody at the hotel, and they'll assist you. Now there's certain sessions that have been canceled that are not on your agenda. I want to mention also some of the sessions that are canceled because there's been, as many of you are already aware, significant problems with weather throughout the Northeast and other parts of the country. And sadly, we've gotten a lot of emails from people who have tried to get here by other means, but because flights are so overbooked and there's been so many cancellations that it's been literally impossible for people to get here. There may be sessions where there have been 3 people in a block and the middle session may not be there. However, the time will be kept the same as it is. So if you're speaking in the first time slot or you're cluing in or screening into the first time block, it will end at the time it's supposed to. There may be a gap of a half hour before the next session will start. So we're keeping to the exact time schedule, even though there may be kind of programs that have been eliminated. What's not on your agenda, and it may be different for those who are streaming because the streaming has been easier to update the agenda than it has on paper since we had to print it a couple days ago. Today in reserve from 11:30 to 12, the session with Arthur Buckman has been canceled. He as well cannot get here. I think he's stuck in New York. 2 sessions on Friday ballroom from 11 to 11:30. Robin Boyle Lazaro is also canceled. Another person in New York who couldn't get here. Friday at 11:30 to 12, Deborah Glasscock, that one also. And Saturday reserved from 2:30 to 3, Leah Levy. All of these people. Yeah, I can say those again. As I remember listening to like a program on radio, I think it was, I can't remember what. Well, yeah, the schedules will be adjusted. I will read it again in what I remember was being called in special English. And actually, Voice of America does special English. Basically, what it is Thursday in reserve at 11:30 to 12, Arthur Buckman's session is canceled. Friday, ballroom, 11 o'clock to 11:30, Robin Boyle Lazure session is canceled. Friday reserve, 11:30 to 12, Deborah Glasscock is canceled. And Saturday reserve, 2:30 to 3, Leah Levy. Now, as a result of those cancellations, the organizing committee has decided to make a change in the schedule for Saturday. And we haven't had a chance to talk to Zoe Lambert, but instead of having Zoe Lambert speaking in reserve on Saturday at the end of the day, she will be moved to the ballroom here, and we will be finishing shortly after with the closing of the conference, shortly after she finishes her presentation, since it would be really difficult to wait an hour plus to have a closing. We've moved everything up and switched it into the ballroom. And that will apply also for those who are streaming as well. And that for the moment is all we have for updated housekeeping. As I mentioned, if you have any questions or need further information, come see us at the registration desk. And the next sessions will be starting at 9:30. Please, start ahead of time, as I mentioned, for speakers and moderators. Please get maybe 10 minutes before to your sessions. And we all now have, I think, enough time for a coffee before the next session. Thank you all very much and look forward to seeing you all more in person. Thank you.